stuff on our deck start to move. Got up, came down. Our glass tabletop that was on there slammed against the wall and shattered. Fortunately, it didn't break the window. We just got lucky that the trees did not hit the house, because one came kind of close there. It would have done a lot of damage.
Much like the investigators on CSI on CBS, meteorologists comb through storm damage to determine what kind of storm transpired and its level of severity.
When we heard this damage, we thought, well, it could be tornado or it could be downburst type damage, because if you looked at the radar, you could see the center of rotation, the rotating updraft, usually underneath where you get the tornado, pass north of here.
Ernie Astuno is the lead forecaster for the National Weather Service in Grand Rapids. Ernie has been at the office since October of 1999.
So when I do a survey, what I'm looking for, number one...
Now, they've been going on for the last couple of days now in regards to thunderstorm levels and tornadic levels and hail. It's almost like this is predictive programming for something in the future to happen in regards to severity of weather events.
Up in trees, that tells you that debris got lofted way downrange. The little trampolines that people have in their backyard, a lot of these weak tornadoes, you'll find those a couple miles away. Calf cribs out in farm country, you'll see the calf crib go airborne.
Ernie explains why early season severe weather preferentially affects evergreen trees versus deciduous trees.
Obviously, we have some termite damage and rot in here. This is not healthy wood, obviously. So this tree was partially hollow. The other thing we noticed about this tree, it's a spruce tree, it's an evergreen. This time of year, your deciduous trees don't have leaves on them. There's not as much drag force that's going to help snap that tree or uproot it. The evergreen trees, though, do have that drag force, so there's a larger area that the wind is working on. It's an exponential increase.
This large metal barn door,
but yet, with the more coniferous trees, the less likelihood of tornadic activity on the ground, because the tornadoes literally have to touch down in order to travel, for the most part, in order for destruction to occur. When you have forested areas with coniferous trees, that tends, even though there's can be widespread damage to those trees, it stops the pathways of tornadoes.
So you're starting to get up into what we call EF1.
We need more trees, people.
Number one, we want to thank lead forecaster from the National Weather Service in Grand Rapids, Ernie Astuno. Second, in storm surveys, meteorologists are looking for the presence of lofted debris down trees that are convergent or cross over each other. Now, in the absence of those ingredients, the most likely declaration is going to be straight line winds and not a tornado.
See, they're really prepping us up for this stuff. National Weather Service. See, all this is based on National Weather Service. Okay?
In Beecher, Michigan on June 8, 1953. Still to this day, that is the deadliest tornado in Michigan history, as it killed 116 people and injured over 800. That was one of two tornadoes rated an F5 in the state, the other occurring right here in West Michigan. That tornado touched down near Hudsonville and lifted near Standale. It killed 17 people and injured 340 on April 3rd of 1956. Now, 9 years later, several tornadoes tore through Michigan on Palm Sunday. And the worst destruction was in Branch County, where two F4 tornadoes tracked within a mile or so of each other in less than 1 hour. Now, several people who were hit by the first tornado had to take cover from the second tornado. And, of course, in Kalamazoo, May 13th, 1980, a date that many will remember forever, an F3 tornado with estimated winds of 158 to 206 miles per hour right through downtown. That tornado claimed 5 lives and injured 7.
That was a fun one.
Tornadoes are rare in West
I got to see the aftermath.
Remember that they do still happen here.
I've seen the aftermath over quite a few of these. I've been around for quite a while.
Mentioned in Michigan, they're really not very common. A much more common threat from storms, lightning. Coming up, words of advice from a West Michigan man who took a direct hit and thought he was dead. 24 24-year-old Brennan Bittner of Coloma enjoys playing with his son, Bannon, who's about to turn 3. For Brennan, moments like these are extra special because he knows he's lucky to be alive. It's been nearly 8 years since Brennan was struck by lightning.
For me and what I experienced was an insane loud noise, and everything went white. And then to me, that was it.
Brennan and his mother, brother, and a family friend were enjoying a vacation day at the beach on Marco Island in southwest Florida. All was going well until a thunderstorm moved ashore from the Gulf of Mexico. It didn't take long for Brennan's mom, Lori, to decide it was time to run for cover.
Then lightning just went boom, 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 right next to us. I'm like, we got to get to shelter. We got to go.
They began running, but they didn't get far. Before they could get off the beach, a horrified Lori saw lightning strike just ahead of her, right where her 2 sons, Brennan and Connor, and their friend Felicia were running.
The lightning hit, like right where Brenna was at, and Connor and Felicia went flying about 10 foot to the right, and Brennan just dropped to his knees and face planted, almost like a video game.
Lori thought her son, Brennan, was dead. Brennan says he thought he was dead too.
Sorry, but that's kind of funny.
I couldn't hear. Everything was ringing. I couldn't hear anything. Everything was ringing. I could barely move.
But Brennan was alive. His brother carried him to a convenience store across the street from the beach, where paramedics who had rushed to the scene began treating him. This is a picture of Brennan being treated minutes after being struck. Brennan says
that's a blurry
that
picture.
experience changed him forever, and he has an important message about being outside when a thunderstorm is near.
I was explaining to my friends that were out in the storm, and I tried to tell them, like, there's a reason, I'm freaking out by you guys being out there. We're by the water and everything. We got lakes here. And my message to them basically was just, it's not a game, and I don't want it happening to them. I don't want it happening to other people.
The most important lightning safety tip is to go inside a safe structure anytime you hear thunder. Let that storm pass. And if you are outside, stay away from tall trees.
Okay,
and
so
this, pavilions.
on that note, I am going to go ahead. I'm hoping that this is still recording. But anyways, I once upon a time, back when I was a kid, knew someone that was directly hit by lightning. This was a kid that was neighbors to my grandparents, and he was out delivering newspapers one morning on his bicycle, and a bolt of lightning came down and struck him on the elbow while he was riding his bike, like I said, delivering these newspapers. And it literally knocked him, I think it was something like 25 yards away from his bicycle. And which it was claimed that had he not been on his bicycle with the insulation of the bicycle's tires, he might have possibly deceased, or his injuries might have been that much worse. He did have some burns to his elbow. I'm not sure if there were burns to any other parts of his body, but he turned out to be fine, no problem. But still, it is very good to be aware of the damage that lightning can do and the different varieties of lightning. And with well, I'm just going to say with this Terra Reformation, that seems to be the process that this planet is undergoing, or whatever we live on or in, or whatever the case may be. We're going to be seeing a lot more strangeness to weather patterns and systems and so on and so forth. So, be aware of what is to come. Be prepared. Do some research into weather, and as far as I'm concerned, once again, what we are all seeing is manufactured weather. And with that, just like anything else that is synthetic in nature, that it is not of nature, um, there's always very bad adverse effects or side effects. So, on that note, yeah, I know this might seem to be a lot of fear mongering, but as far as I'm concerned, this is predictive programming. Okay, so we'll see you once again on that flip side. Take care.